Hi everyone, I am with Miss Alifia Shipchandler, who is Deputy Counsel with the Hong Kong International Arbitration Center, which is the HKIAC. So, Alifia, thank you very much for coming. And she has come for the ADR Week, which is organized by MCIA, which is the Mumbai Center of International Arbitration. And I am so happy to see this kind of collaborative relationship. And I think this is the truth of it. A lot of people think lawyers are very competitive. The truth is, a lot of us are very collaborative, and I think Alifia is an example of that. And I am very interested in knowing about what a deputy counsel of an arbitral institution really does.
Okay, so thank you for having me, first of all. And I think the event has been organized really well. And like you said, the collaboration between institutions is great to see. But in terms of my work and being a deputy counsel at HKIC, so I am in charge of administering and managing cases where the HKIC rules are used. We have different sets of rules. We have administered arbitration, we have the domestic rules. And in addition to that, we also see a lot of ad hoc cases because HKIC is the statutory appointing authority in Hong Kong for appointing arbitrators and determining the number of arbitrators when the clause is silent.
So I'm sorry I'm sliding
Yeah.
into this conversation because this is different from what is there in India and other parts of the world.
Right.
Where if there is a dispute between parties, I mean, if we are either not able to agree to an arbitrator or it is silent and we don't know whether it's a solo arbitrator or a panel or whatever it is, we actually have to refer to the court.
To the court.
But you're saying in Hong Kong it's different.
Correct. So you don't have to go to court when you were trying to avoid it to begin with. So the Hong Kong Arbitration Ordinance says that you go to the statutory appointing authority in such cases, and HKIC is that authority.
I think that's so useful, right? I mean, this is something that should probably come.
Yes, definitely useful because you deal with the delays of the court system if you're going back to court, so you don't deal with that in this kind of situation. And we also use the same list and panel of arbitrators that we would if the case was administered by HKIC. So you get a more diverse set of arbitrators, not your usual maybe retired judges like you do in India.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and the other thing that I want to get in with you is so Alifia has studied in India, she studied in Pune, and then she went to Hong Kong, and then now she's working in Hong Kong. So I know that there are a lot of students who listen to this, and they may be probably interested in this kind of career paths after your legal degree. So there are a couple of questions over here. The first question is, is your LLB degree that you get in India sufficient for you to get a job that you're doing? Did you have to take any more certifications, etc., because it's a new other legal system and may not be a common law legal system? Is it a common law?
No, Hong Kong is a common law.
Or otherwise China is.
Yeah, so in fact, Hong Kong is the only common law jurisdiction outside of the mainland. Yeah.
Okay.
So I worked for 3 years in Bombay. I was doing litigation, and then after that, I realized that international arbitration is what I wanted to pursue. So with that in mind, I did speak to a lot of people within India, outside India, and the feedback I was getting is, yes, the experience is important, but because India doesn't see a lot of institutional arbitration, it's more ad hoc, it's always important to have that additional degree. And so I did my master's at MIDS course in Geneva. So that was the extra qualification that I had to do, and I think it's important to do it because I do not think the LLB degree is the only.
It's not sufficient.
Yeah, it's not sufficient to be able to get a job immediately. Maybe if you have say 8 to 10 years of experience in arbitration, then of course it's a different ball game altogether. But with someone who had just started off in my career, I think it was important to get that additional degree. And in terms of qualification, I'm qualified in India, but the benefit with international arbitration is that no matter where I went in the world, I could still have a career in it. And Hong Kong is a very welcoming seat and a very welcoming market in terms of its practitioners. So I was able to get a job at the HKISC. And in that capacity, I am not yet qualified in Hong Kong, but I'm hoping to to get qualified soon enough. Yeah.
And what do you think? I mean, now coming specifically to the career path that you have chosen, which is being a deputy counsel at an institution that administers arbitration and other ADR. A, how does that career path look like for those who are interested? Do they have to work in litigation to get into that? Can someone listening to this in a college in India imagine that they would want to get there in a few years?
So I think what litigation did for me is teach me a lot about how the adversarial system of our law works. And I mean, we say that arbitration is an alternate dispute resolution mechanism, but a lot of it mirrors your statement of claim, statement of defense. That's similar to what you see in a court, at least in terms of your procedure. So at least your case building, the way you're supposed to argue, your research, doing litigation is always beneficial because you learn those skills. But I would say you don't need to necessarily have done litigation to have a career in arbitration. I think it's okay to, if you're sure. When I started off, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do arbitration. And I liked the whole idea of being a lawyer was to go to court and to argue in court. So I think because of that, I wanted to do a mix of both. I wouldn't think it's necessary. It's always an advantage to have that comparison, because now today if somebody asks me what are the benefits of arbitration, I do have an answer with concrete examples, knowing where litigation was lacking. But in terms of a career path, I think it's helpful to have experience before coming to an institution, because what it does is that when you're dealing with cases at an institution, you're at least aware of what's happening in the arbitration. So you're able to maneuver the case keeping in mind what the user wants. And so in the capacity of an institution, you're able to provide better services to the user, which I think is very important for an institution.
That's true. And you as a deputy counsel are involved in the general you're running the case from a more administrative perspective, ensuring that everything comes on time. The statement of claim is filed on time, defense is filed on time, the timelines are met. Is the procedure that needs to be followed is followed? Do you also help the tribunal in any way?
So actually, our role is the most active prior to the constitution of the tribunal. So HKIC has a very light touch approach policy, which means that as long as there's no arbitral tribunal, we are actively involved in trying to ensure that the arbitration proceeds. But once the tribunal is in place, then we sort of back off, and then our role at that point is more in terms of fund holding, making sure the fees of the tribunal is paid on time, keeping a track of the invoices, supplementary deposits, stuff like that. But pre-constitution, of course, we're more actively involved. We take decisions for single arbitration under multiple contracts, consolidation, appointment, of course. But at the Secretariat, our team is also available to act as tribunal secretaries. So if there is a particular arbitrator who wants to use one of our members as a tribunal secretary, then we're also available to act in that capacity. So of course, once you're appointed, the parties agree, then you're actively involved in the case. But for case management, it's until constitution.
Okay. And I think my final question to you would be this interaction between MCI and HKIC, or maybe other arbitral institutions, and what do you have to say about that? Like, how do you guys work together? How do you guys learn from each other? What's happening?
So I think we do learn a lot from each other. We're constantly looking out for what the other person is doing. And we had the Hong Kong Arbitration Week started by HKIC. HKIC came up with the Tribunal Secretary Training Program. And a lot of the institutions, I think including MCI, also have similar weeks and training programs now. So I think it's a learning endeavor where we try to work together collaboratively. And I mean, Neeti came down for Hong Kong Arbitration Week, and we've now come for India Arbitration Week. So I think it's great to see like this collaboration.
And I believe that every evening they have one arbitration institution that is making a presentation for an hour virtually, which I think is fabulous. It's like a lovely collaborative idea. So thank you so much, Alifia.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time.